Doreen Granpeesheh is the
Dr. Doreen is an expert in autism.
Doreen Granpeesheh.
Dr. Granpeesheh.
Dr. Doreen Granpeesheh.
Dr. Doreen Granpeesheh is a visionary in the field of autism. Now you can ask her questions on Ask Dr. Doreen.
𝗟𝗏𝗃𝗲 is asking a lot of questions about how do we get the curriculum. My son can label, tell me the name of the flashcards in action, but I don't know what to do now. I'm trying to get him to ask me his needs too. How do we make a schedule? So talk about that for a second.
Yeah, I think that we actually, at the back of our book, the card
which
book.
I had on the set yesterday.
Yeah, so you should just, and it's called Evidence-Based Treatments for Children with Autism.
Yeah.
At the back of it, in the appendix, and I am one of the authors on there, so at the back of it, there's all these lessons that I listed. They're all in there. So even if you don't want to get online and try to get skills, which skills for autism, and you might still be able to get a license. I don't know. Skills belongs to CARD. I sold CARD. I no longer own any of that. But what you can do is try to get a license and see all of these lessons on skills. That being said, it is in the back of the book, and you can certainly take a look at all of those lessons there. And then in terms of materials, I have found that, there's a lot of places now where the materials are sold. Lakeshore is a fantastic place still, but educational materials are available across the board. Here is the book, Evidence-Based Treatment for Children with Autism, and underneath it says the CARD model. It is a very intense book. It's a long textbook type of thing, but it's very interesting. I mean, we took a long time to write this, and I will show you, it's a huge curriculum at the back. It's pretty large. And it actually even tells you, here's where the curriculum start. Actually, this is just the advanced curriculum here, but all the curriculum is in the back of this book, and it shows you samples of every lesson. It shows you, see, this is the language curriculum. It starts here on this page, and it goes on for many, many pages, as you can see. And there's 8 different areas. There's language, play, cognitive skills, executive functioning skills, motor, what am I missing? Social, and academic, and adaptive, right? All of those different areas are detailed. And if you just get this book, you get this book on Amazon, I believe now. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and it's all there. And then the materials are very easy. All educational supply stores have all of these. I would still recommend that you get together with a BCBA or Board Certified Behavior Analyst, because what you need is you need 2 other things. One is the guidance of how to manage behaviors, as well as sort of the guidance of how to teach. Like, it's not as simple as just putting a stimulus in front of a child and saying, label this. There's specific techniques and methods there. But in addition to that, you need a little bit of guidance on kind of how to bring these lessons together. Usually what we do is you'll have somewhere, if you're doing an intensive program, now this is important, if you're doing about 40 hours a week, you can have about 20 or so lessons going on at the same time. So you can have language, so like actions and objects and descriptors, and maybe vocal imitation, just to make sure the child is actually pronouncing everything correctly. And then you'll have like some social lessons, a couple of play, and you'll have, adaptive lessons like toilet training or grooming oneself, brushing teeth, etc. You might even have some cognitive lessons in there, which would be in the very early stages of the cognitive lessons. You'd have definitely some executive function stuff, which is, like pointing to things that you think other people are looking at or thinking about. There's a lot of different aspects, and you kind of all bring it together. And each time a therapist sits down, each set of lessons will be like, you'll sit down with a child for literally 2 or 3 minutes of doing one lesson, and then you'll let the child play for a minute. And then you'll come back and do another 3-4 minutes, and then you'll let the child play for a minute. And you do that in sessions that are 2 to 3 hours long, and you just do it across the 7 days of the child's life.
There we go.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
It is
It's
a
just,
lot.
but the book explains all of this as well.
And I want to say, because I know that you're in Canada, that before we had insurance reform, there were amazing parents
Yes.
who put together programs to do a 40-hour program with nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I am not one of those people. I respect and admire those people. I don't know that I could have done that. I didn't find out about that until we already had a 40-hour program. And believe me, I had to fight for the 40-hour program that I had. But I want you to know that people have found a way. There were people who went, there's a way that you can get a training for yourself for free from the Autism Partnership Foundation, and you can train yourself and other people. There are people who went to sororities and found and got a sorority to adopt their child as their cause.
Yeah,
because
that's
sororities
amazing.
have to have a cause every year to have
Yep.
their charter. There are people who went to their church and said, we want to train 12 people. I'm thinking about Jana,
Yeah.
who
Yeah.
they use skills, and Jana, their doctor didn't use the word recovered. Not Jana, who's the little girl that they use skills up, they were in like Minnesota, and they went to their church.
Yeah. A
They-
lot of people have used it, like volunteers from their
Yep.
church.
And they did 2 years of intensive
Yep.
with that little girl, and her doctor considers her autism in remission.
Yes, I love
How do we
that.
love that word? But they had volunteers who came to the house around the clock. Like I said, I don't know if I would have had that in me, because that seems like a great deal.
It's so much work.
But people did it. And the knowledge is there. And for
Yeah.
me as a parent and somebody that has a mouthpiece here, I want you to know the knowledge is there.
Yes.
They've cracked the code on being able, it's all individualized.
Absolutely.
But the skills and the lessons and the curriculum are there. Don't forget, you can watch Ask Dr. Doreen live every Tuesday morning at 10 a.m. Pacific time. We hope to see you there.